Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk to you about Marvel Multiverse RPG, Session 2, villain game. And actually it started as a hero game, it's a villain game, heroes and villains, all right? But all the player characters are villains at this point. And I just want to give you the wrap-up, the final events of Session 2. So at this point, of the player characters, Thanos has been quested specifically by the Collector. The Collector has sent him to find the Tony Stark Asgard created any one of the Tony Stark Asgard created magical items that were built specifically to fight the heroes and villains who were given magical axes by Odin's brother in the Fear Itself Marvel event. Okay, Thanos has accepted this quest from the Collector, and if he's able to complete it, he will receive the Reality Stone. Okay, and then at that point, John Doe, the AIM-created high-tech android, joins Thanos on this quest specifically because the Enchantress encourages him to do so. Okay? Then, going around, Gore the God Butcher agrees to aid Thanos on this quest because the Collector says that he will give him an additional power, right? And this is attractive to Gore the God Butcher because all of his powers come from his sword. Okay? Then, in addition, Green Goblin is requested to join Thanos, Gore the God Butcher, and John Doe, and Green Goblin refuses, right? And says, I will go my own way. And John Doe, who has the teleportation power which he stole from Enchantress. Actually, he copied it. He didn't take hers. He copied it, so he now has her power. The same way Rogue works, right? So he's absorbed her power. He's copied her power. Okay, he has access to her power. He copied it, right? Then Carnage is dead and cannot aid on. Has been destroyed completely by Hela. Okay, and let me go around the table in my head and see if I hit everybody. So it was Gore the God Butcher, and then Green Goblin, and then Carnage, and then and then John Doe, and last is Thanos, and Thanos is already on board, right? And so everyone except Green Goblin accepts this quest, and at that point we wrapped the evening, right? It was a very nice. I was incredibly impressed. We played 2.5 hours, and I was incredibly impressed with how much happened in that 2.5 hours. I felt incredibly blessed to have the players that I had at the table, to have a full table, 5 players. And also, we have a Facebook thread, and I called it. I've started to do this where I really wish every, FLGS, TTRPG game could just be, and many Dungeon Masters do this. They're like, oh, the more the merrier. But I really want to tell powerful narratives for the people who are at my table. And I believe 6, 7, 8, 9 players, you're not telling powerful narratives, right? You're sucking up a lot of energy from people and making them wait a really long time for your turn. I honestly, I'll say it right now, I don't think you can run Dungeons and Dragons with more than 5 people and give those people a good experience. And I actually think that's why Matthew Mercer's running into a lot of problems right now, is he doesn't understand that, right? And I think Matthew Mercer's been leaning on the professionalness on the fact that his players are paid to be at that table, right? And I'm not going to make that same mistake in Dungeons and Dragons' little sister game, in my humble opinion, Marvel Multiverse RPG, right? Or maybe little brother. You can choose whichever gender you think is appropriate. But I think this thing was, Gary Gygax put up the lightning rod and brought Dungeons and Dragons to life in 1974. Matt Forbeck used the same table, the same lightning rod, and brought to life Marvel Multiverse RPG on exactly the same energy that Dungeons and Dragons was born on. That's it. That's session 2, and I took a lot of time to tell you guys that. It's all right here on this playlist. I thank you so much for letting me share it with you. Please consider liking, subscribing, and I'd love to hear your opinions on Marvel RPG, on the Marvel Multiverse RPG. Is anybody playing it out there? Is anybody running it out there? Has anybody enjoyed any of Matt Forbeck's other work? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking, subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.